Good evening. Welcome to another Monday. I've moved. I'm yeah. There's Marco there.
Hello. I'm behind him.
He's behind me.
Do that. Behind his ear.
Well, if that's all you're going to do, I'm all right. Yeah. So I had a little bit of a shift around last week. Yeah, it's not been without its problems, as the last hour of attested to. Oh, Christ. Anyway, moving on. Marco, talk to us.
Hello. Have you had a good week? That's what I'd like to know. I'm just looking in chat here. See who's in. Got Bad and Paul and Monster and Morph and Disco Dares. Hello, Disco Dares. Got any cider on the go for August? And Lloyd and Andy and Ridian's in there. Yes, and there's some bloke called Cybernoid. I don't know who he is.
He keeps on popping up, and I have no idea who he is. He's obviously some sort of pillock.
Stalker.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then we've got the vape police watching as well. Yeah.
The vape police.
I think I mentioned the vape police in a bit of ET later. Yes. Anyway,
okay.
There you go.
I suppose we better
What
see
have we
what's
got coming up?
We'll find out during this lovely handy VT that someone prepared earlier.
Coming up tonight on Vape Patrols TV, Matt Gerrish talks to Archie from Decadent Vapors. Marco looks at some of the juices from £1 e-liquid. Mark Crew looks at the Hellgate V2 by Yep. Marco talks to Damon Fairhurst, aka the Grumpy Vaper, about the Vape Collective event at the end of May. And then we'll look at the news from around the world. All this and more tonight on Vape Patrols TV.
And there we go. That's what we've got coming up. So that's, I suppose, move swiftly onward to the news.
And the first story up this week, e-cigarettes hooking a new generation, and this is from HuffPost Healthy Living, written by a guy called Michael Green. Whether or not we're related, I do not know. Anyway, he says, recently a father contacted CEH with concerns about his 16-year-old son's health. The teenager had purchased nicotine-laced e-liquids from a website that had no age verification or nicotine warnings. The packaging on the e-liquid also had no warning labels despite the known health consequences of exposure to nicotine. Angry and frustrated at the lack of rules on e-cigarettes, the dad told us, if you can get them to do the right thing, that would be awesome. Now, I don't know what site he's talking about, first of all. And we don't know if it is a UK site, a US site, a Canadian site, a Chinese site. No idea. But he goes on. Parents around the country are now realising that they need to learn more about e-cigarettes and their children's health. And according to recent research by the Centres for Disease Control, the e-cigarette industry aggressively targets teens in their advertising, with nearly 70% of middle and high school students exposed to e-cigarette ads. As the tobacco industry knows from essential experience, their advertising works. E-cigarettes use is skyrocketing amongst teenagers. According to CDC Chief Dr. Tom Friedman, the tobacco industry has another reason for the spate of ad dollars targeted at our kids. Now, this is all about this. You know, it's these crazy labels that people are putting on their e-liquids. And, you know, is it aimed at kids? I don't think so. I think it's aimed at adults. But these kind of people are just taking that and saying that it is targeted at youngsters. Even younger children are at risk from e-cigarettes. Nicotine is a powerful poison. A child ingesting just a teaspoon of liquid nicotine could suffer severe or even fatal consequences. Now, you know, If the child is an infant and they decide they're going to drink a bottle of 24 milligram, then it's going to make them violently sick, and it will make them a little bit ill. A teaspoon, I mean, you really are stretching the imagination there. It really depends on what the strength of the e-liquid is and also how much of it they ingest. But it will make them sick to throw up and vomit it all out long before it makes them relatively unwell, as we all know. So scaremonger, scaremonger, scaremonger. Yeah, let's move on. And this is on Fox News. An e-cigarette fire during boarding causes Delta flight delay. Most unfortunate. Delta Airlines delayed a flight Wednesday at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport after an e-cigarette belonging to a passenger started a small fire on board. Airline customers were in the middle of boarding the plane headed for St. Louis when a passenger's backpack ignited, the cause of which has since been determined as electronic vaping device malfunctioning. And it says down here we go, the passenger was in compliance with Delta's current policy regarding e-cigarettes, which states battery-powered portable electronic smoking devices, e.g. e-cigarettes, e-cigs, e-cigars, e-pipes, e-hookahs, personal vaporizers, electronic nicotine delivery systems, when carried by passengers or crew members for personal use must be carried on one's person or in carry-on baggage. Recharging of the devices and or the batteries on board the aircraft is not permitted. So something went a little bit awry here. We don't know what the device was, and we don't know what happened to it. It's likely that it was to do with user error. Who knows? But there you go. Whether or not that'll spark any more debate in the States for banning them from planes, God only knows. But if they're going to ban those, then they'll be needing to be banning laptops, mobile phones, PDAs, tablets, and anything else that uses batteries, in my opinion. Let's move on. And this is our good friend the Lancet. Oh yes. And this is e-cigarettes are less harmful than smoking. And you'll see here is a list of the people who have contributed to that particular article. One I've reached down here is our good friend David Swinner. Yes. And here we go. The Lancet editorial criticising Public Health England's review of electronic cigarettes focused on 3 supposed shortcomings of our paper: a lack of hard evidence, no formal criteria used, and so relied on the opinions of participants and potential bias arising from the selection of participants and the declared conflicts of interest of some authors. As authors of the original paper, we believe that these 3 criticisms have overgeneralized the evidence issue, did not respect the knowledge and experience of the experts selected, and did not take into account the many measures used to minimize potential bias. And you can see the entire story here, and of course we will provide a link to this in our chat and also in the show page on YouTube. And the final story for this section, as you know, I subscribe to They Work For You, and I have email alerts set up. So if my local MP, who is Dan Jarvis, MP for Barnsley Central, he's Labour, if anything comes up with his name, or anything comes up with Jane Ellison's name, who is the Parliamentary Under Secretary of State for Health, I get an email alert and it lists those particular items, and then I can come onto this website and have a look, as we did last week. And here is another one. And the Conservative MP for Huntington, who is Jonathan de Jongley, might be a mispronunciation, but I don't know. And his question was to ask the Secretary of State for Health what assessment he has made of the reasons for the reductions in the number of people who use stop smoking services in the last 5 years. And Jane Ellison's reply Although no formal assessment has been made of the reduction in the number of people accessing local stop smoking services in the last 5 years, Public Health England has been working with local areas, practitioners and experts in the field to better understand the reasons for the reduction in the number of people accessing services and consider how best to continue to help people stop smoking. And that basically means A, they don't know, or B, they do know, and the answer is people are using e-cigarettes, but they don't want to say that. That is my humble opinion on this matter. And with that, that was the news for this week.
And that was the news. Marco, over to you, sir.
It was the news, yes. And touching on that first story, we were talking while that was going through, and this whole notion of the labels being attractive to children, they just don't get it, do they? It needs to be attractive to adults as well. And just the fact that it's got a crazy image on or whatever doesn't mean that it's aimed at children. I almost swore there.
Come on, give it a swear.
Dave and I were discussing that just now. Go on, Dave.
What?
Fill your boots.
Well, I mean, for God, look, if bright coloured packaging and attractive advertising is attractive only to children, why aren't 11-year-old boys walking around wearing Always, Tampax, Lillet's and all these other things? Body form. Apparently you can go out on the town in a white dress, 13-year-old boy, remember, in a white dress with his body form on, and he's fine. He's fine, doesn't even sweat. Look, the whole thing is a load of crap. Two things. One, if they are ripping off an acknowledged brand name, then they deserve a tow up the backside at high speed because they're ripping off a well-known brand name. It's called passing off. It's illegal in every jurisdiction throughout the world. That's fine. But with the rest of it, when you get, I mean, okay, they might not like the idea of gummy bears, wine gums, jelly babies, but apparently they're not awfully keen on other names of juice like unicorn farts, sloppy tit wank, hand job, and all these other daft names that are out there. They need to make their minds up. Over to you.
Oh, thank you for those pearls of wisdom, Mr. Dawn. I don't know where you get these names from. I've never had one of those.
What a sloppy tit wank. Let your last watch this. You never know your luck.
Dear. And as you know, I've got some Mills milk, but that's about as crazy as my juices are, to be fair, in the house. Yeah, it's all a bit crazy, and the whole thing about the teaspoon of liquid, being fatal. As someone pointed out in chat, a teaspoon of bleach was probably just as. Oh, and there goes the neighbour's burglar alarm again.
Are they still away?
Oh God, no! It goes up all the time.
You need to get across there one of these nights and empty the house, man. Nobody's taking any notice.
Yeah, I need a new boiler actually. Maybe I should go there and withdraw those. Yes, and with the whole they work for you question, why there's less people using the stop smoking services. Well, that could be a number of factors, but I'm pretty sure that these are one of them.
Here's a clue.
Yes, maybe. Yeah. Now I'm in touch with a local stop smoking service, and I'm just kind of negotiating going and seeing them. So I shall ask them when I see them and see what they think, because it's the whole of South Yorkshire I'm going to be going to see. Yes, Matt.
Mark.
Matt.
Dave.
Dear.
Mark.
Now listen, you recently, talking about juice,
yes.
went down, a few weeks ago, didn't you? Went down to Wales, somewhere else in Wales, because I know you live in Wales. But
yeah, I didn't go down to Wales. I was already there.
Yeah, you're already in Wales, but you went a little bit further into Wales. Saw a moustached chappie.
I did.
Yes.
That was almost seamless. Well done.
Almost.
Yes. Let's watch. So I'm here at Decadent Vapors in Swansea with Archie Powell, the Managing Director of Decadent Vapors. Archie, thank you very much for having us here.
Absolute pleasure, absolute pleasure.
Lovely. So how long have you been on these premises?
Since December 2015.
Okay.
So before we were in a little industrial unit, and obviously to comply with TPD and basically we were getting bigger and to streamline the process and everything else, we decided we needed to move.
So you mentioned the TPD there. So why did you need to move in order to comply? I mean, what needed to be done?
Just to make sure that the lab was up to spec, that our general manufacturing process was correct, and just to streamline the whole process, because before we were in 3 units, and we'd grown so quickly over such a small space of time, 6 years, over a period of time that we just felt we needed to just to focus in on in one building, so in it, and so to get our ISO 9000, to get a fully spec lab, just to get all the general principles of manufacturing in one place. Just made it a lot better, and also obviously to speed up the production times and everything. So now we've got, as I say, state-of-the-art lab, which I'm sure you'll have a look at in a bit, and and it's just speeded up production time immensely.
I mean, I've had a quick nose around the facility. I'm doing the interview first, so I'm yet to actually take the full tour. What I've seen so far has been quite impressive, and it's a very serious operation. It's not someone's back kitchen or something like that. Oh God, no.
No.
It's so as you say, Decadent Vapor's been around for 6 years now?
Since 2009, yeah.
Okay, so
we're hitting our 7th birthday this
all
year.
right. Okay. Any celebrations planned?
Probably, yes.
So I know I've known of Decadent Vapors for a long time. My first real encounter with you guys was when I organised a vape meet in Pencoed. When was that? 2012, I think it was.
Probably.
And your guys kindly got in touch with me on the forums and said, "Oh, do you want a juice bar?" Yes, please.
Yeah.
And you've been a great supporter of many local events and national events as well, of Vape Fest you've always had a presence at. And
the thing is, for us, it's not. I mean, I know this sounds really, like, oh, how wonderful we are, but it's absolutely true. We're all committed, vapors who are for the cause, and to try and get across that, when vaping's done correctly, when liquid's made properly with the proper ingredients, that it isn't dangerous. It's a fun hobby, if you will. That stops people dying. It's a valiant cause. That we want to promote and help people stop smoking and to actually enjoy vaping. The amount of rubbish that's out there.
Oh wow, absolutely.
People say, and they try one of our liquids, oh my God. So yes, that's what well-made liquid is.
Yeah. One of these things, actually, you mentioned about promoting and being vapors yourself. I consider DV to be quite unique in that not only do you sell pre-mixed liquids, but you also pretty much encourage people to mix their own as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the whole joy of vaping is is to experiment and to have fun. And so obviously we sell pre-mixed because a lot of people want. They don't want all the kerfuffle of having to buy nicotine and diluent and then bottles and and then put on gloves, and if they want to go that far, with glasses and God knows what. It's a lot easier to buy it, but a lot of people love the whole thought of just getting that mix just right for them. And we heavily promote our mixing kits and our DIY range because it's so easy.
Yes.
A lot of people think, oh God, well I've got to do this and measure it out. But the way we've done it with our kits and our easy mix kits and everything else, it's really easy for people to actually have some fun and experiment with with flavours. And we obviously when we concoct flavours, it takes us months and months and months to get it just right. We've got a new one out called Brexit, which is brilliant. But
can I have a sample later?
Yeah, absolutely. But I'll give you in a minute. You can try some. Let me know what you think.
Okay.
But but for an individual to actually, go, I quite like raspberry, I quite like custard, but I also want a little bit of rainbow fruit in there or whatever. It gives them the opportunity to just concoct a flavour that is perfect for them. And obviously, we make all our flavours, perfectly and properly, and we don't put any nasties in, and everything's tested. And so we want to promote safe mixing, because the problem is people can buy cheap diluent, they can buy cheap nicotine, and you don't know where it's from. And if you're putting something in your lungs, then it's our priority and our commitment to make sure that it's absolutely perfect and not going to do you any harm. That's what we stand by, and that's what our raison d'etre has been from the very word go. We were the first to actually test liquids. Nobody else was testing liquids before us. We have actually been on the forefront of safety to make sure that what we produce is safe. What it really annoys me, a lot of manufacturers say, oh, well, it's diacetyl's in there or API. There's nothing proven. It's like, yeah, but there is a doubt that that is good for you. And even if it's like a 0.1% chance that it might do you some damage, then why would we as responsible producers put it in there? Yeah. So that's why we never put any kind of nonsense in our liquids, just to make it taste better. We like to think we're skilled enough, and with the chemists and the flavologists that we've got, that we're good enough to be able to produce fantastic liquids without the need to put rubbish in there.
Yeah, a lot of people put in the what's termed as maybe as nasties, the diacetyls and that sort of thing, is to get that sort of biscuity flavour, don't they?
And buttery flavour, or milky.
And I think I've gone on records before saying that I think your key lime pie is possibly the nicest juice I've ever tasted in my life, and that's biscuity without any of that stuff in it.
Yeah. But that's because our creme anglaise, we won quite a few awards recently. That's a fantastic custard, but it's absolutely clean of diacetyl which is it's really, really difficult to make. It's really, really difficult, and that's why a lot of people don't do that, because it's a lot easier just to whack a bit of diacetyl in and what have you. Whereas we use lots of different compounds to create something that tastes fantastic, but it's good. Well, not good for you, but it's certainly better for you than having lungfuls of diacetyl.
Yes, certainly. And keeping on the little mixing thing a bit, our very own Keith Hunt. Keith Herbert's the top pocket guy. At Vape Fest last year, I had a little chat with Luke, and he presented Keith with a mix your own kit. Now, Keith had never mixed before, ever. And so I said, Keith, come with me. Let's have a chat with these guys here. And they do mixing kits you can manage with. And to be fair, he was absolutely bricking it when he presented this little kit. And it's simplicity itself, wasn't it? It's literally a bottle of liquid with space to put in your flavouring.
Yeah.
And
sorry to interrupt, one thing a lot of people do is they actually buy 2 bottles. So let's say raspberry and custard, for example, and they put half the bottle in each. So and then they go, actually, so they start off with easy mix kit and go, it's easy to do. And then they start, I tell you what, I'll put a little bit of this and a little bit of this. One of my friends, he does coconut and menthol and vanilla, and so he actually puts a third of each in and then shakes it up. But then they very quickly progress then to the actual connoisseur mixing set. And where you've got your diluents and your nicotine and all your flavourings and all the bottles and things, and he starts to mix his own now. But it's a fantastic way of going in, and I guess I wouldn't do it any other way.
No, that's fine. I mean, I was literally about to say that the results surprised him. He just didn't realise how quick and simple it was to mix it all up and just vape away. And as you say, you can get that standard mixing kit and get a few different flavours and blend it to what you prefer,
Exactly,
it's that nice piece of flexibility you've got there.
And there's personalisation, because we've all got different taste buds. We're all different, and we all like certain things, and so this gives people the opportunity to try flavours, and because it's a lot cheaper than buying pre-mixed, you can afford to muck up. You can afford to go, actually, no, that didn't work at all, and throw it away and start again. So it's a great way for experimentation. It's such fun. I mean, the amount of fun we have making up flavours is brilliant.
So Archie, the question I've got to ask is, and don't divulge any secrets if you don't want to, but if you want to, then feel free, I don't mind. But how do you come up with flavours? Do you get some that are just an accident, just someone just puts some stuff together and thinking, this is really good, or do you sort of think, right, I need to focus on making something that tastes like, I don't know, a milkshake or something?
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting, because obviously if we take the Genie range, for example, right, so Genie, we knew we wanted to hit off fruit flavours. We wanted some dessert in there, some tobaccos, to give it a decent range to hit everybody's palate. So we went around. We initially had a list of, I think it was about 120 different flavour thoughts, and from there we then whittled it down to about 50. We then made up some test flavours, and again, they come from compounds and different ingredients, and it microscopic amounts almost in some cases, just to get flavours how you want them. But ultimately, and then from those we tested those, decided on the final 10, and then each one of those 10 then went through a massive, development process to then get to those end flavours. So, for example, with Caramel Glaze, we wanted to do a creamy custard. We've got one already called lemony custard, which is great, but we wanted to take the lemon out of it and actually just make it more sort of creamier and custardy. And obviously there was a massive issue with the diacetyl, which we spoke before, about the diacetyl and the acetylpropionyl and stuff like that, which are the natural sort of flavourings that people make things creamy with. And so it was a massive challenge, that, and we literally went through lots. I can't tell exactly how many, but I mean lots and lots and lots of different permeations with different chemicals in, with different strengths and all sorts to get that flavour. And eventually, it was like I could see it got it, because he came in with a smile on his face. Like, try that, and it's like, whoa! Oh, that's the one. That's the one. But it takes ages. I mean, it's great fun. It's I mean, some of the flavours. I mean, we every year we do a suggestive flavour competition.
Yes, right, yeah.
And that's massive. That's such fun. And everybody gets involved, and all our consumers, everybody gets involved, and it's great fun. And we had one. The winner this year was. It's called Grandma's Handbag.
Yeah, I've read the description.
It's really, really nice. I've got some here. You can have a taste, but it's really nice. It's sort of like a. And so people write and they go, oh, it's cream custard with apple and lavender. And it's like, that's that's a great flavour. So that was definitely one. But when looked at but then to get the actual balance of that lavender, it's really difficult, because it's literally, it's not even a drop. It's like really? it's like fractions. To get the balance just right. And that takes ages, because it's not just sort of like, oh, well, drop here, drop here, drop here, drop here, or it's a proper, it's proper sort of mathematical recipe, and it's but it's I think the results are worth it. But that's the detail that we go to, and that's why I think our flavours are so good, because it's not just a lot of people I know, they sort of when you home mix it. I mean, when I mix at home and stuff, and I'm fiddling, I don't have the apparatus to be able to design flavours that finely. That's why when we've got about 100 flavours, base concentrates that you can mix with. But it's great fun, if you're just sitting around your kitchen table and going, "Oh, try this," and then that's great to do drops. But to actually get that base concentrate right, takes a lot of a lot of
I can imagine. I mean, speaking as a home mixer, and I have been pretty much since I started vaping, not long afterwards. And I used to just sit there and just, that'd probably be quite nice. I'll just stick that much in and that much in. Yeah. And the results come out over, okay, I could deal with it. I could never say someone else had a go, but it's just the level of detail that you go to there, the way you describe it, is just absolutely mind-blowing to me, I've got to be honest. It really is. It's fantastic. I mean, and you've got these mixing kits as well, so people can have a go. So I asked you just hand me one of these to have a quick little nose at, and you got a 100ml bottle of
basically we've got nicotine, 2 types of diluent, so you can completely customise it to what you want. So you can have the nicotine base can be whichever rate diluent you want, whether it's PG, VG or 50/50 or AG or whatever, and the diluents also come in either PG or VG, and with five flavours of your choice. Whack it all in a bottle, mix it all up, and it comes in with a guide, so you can just hold your bottle next to the diagram and see, oh well, I should fill that up with this much, and it doesn't need to be that precise, because what you're doing is not going to be, it's not going to kill you, so you can have fun with it.
I would love to have had something like that when I started mixing, to be honest, because when I started, it must be was nearly 4 years ago now. It was kind of, you could find out how to do it, but you had to search for them, so I had to learn strange words like glycol and glycerin, and I'd never had these before. I've had no need to, and trying to work out what did what. And
I remember, it's so funny when I first gave up smoking, and I tried absolutely everything. I tried hypnosis, patches, the little plastic thing, God, everything. I tried the pills, and none of it ultimately worked. And then I just found e-cigarettes. I hate that word, actually, e-cigarettes. I think it's such a misnomer of what it actually is. It's like, and it automatically just puts us in the wrong environment. But anyway, but the first time I tried vaping, it was amazing, and it made me realise. But as you say, then you get into sort of like, I went into a shop and said, "Oh, do you want PGV?" It's like, what? What on earth is all this all about? And it takes a while for you to really understand what everything does. It's a crazy.
It is. So Archie's just handed me a couple of atomizers. I've got here the Grandma's handbag and the Breck Zest.
Yeah.
Was it Marmite and
Marmalade
on
toast.
Marmalade on toast. Okay, let's have a go. Sav, if you're watching this, you said about you like the jam on toast one once that someone else did. You want to try this? It's toasty. It's weird. It tastes almost like burnt toast.
Yeah.
I'm confused. And now I'm going to have a go at this Grandma's handbag then.
Cream custard, apple, and then
Yeah, that just
to concern ourselves about was the toxicology reports, because obviously, and we were looking at different ways we could do this, whether we bring in an external chemist, toxicology expert to go through everything. But really, we wanted to make sure that, obviously, because we export a lot, that although it might be okay for this country, we wanted to make sure that for other countries that really, were going hard on it, that it was going to be acceptable for that, and for those countries. And so we needed to make sure that we went with a company that was world renowned for quality. So we ended up with Bibra, and we've done a deal with Bibra with some other collaborators to be able to be able to get all our toxicology reports for a very reasonable price.
okay.
And that's open. Our collaboration is actually, as I said, for some of the largest ones, e-liquid producers and whatnot. And we're looking to get more people on board, because obviously the more people that come on board, the lower the price, the more tox data we can get. If anybody is interested, then please, if they want to give me a call or whatever, then I can point them in.
You're just going to you developing flavour
already, but it'll be a case of growing those and becoming global domination will soon follow. No, I mean, to be honest, it's like if we grow, and that's fantastic. But it's really about our raison d'être from the very word go is to being to create the best e-liquids possible, and that's what we do. And that's what we provide or try to provide with all our customers, and our customer services. Some of the best around, and people quibble. If people aren't happy, then we replace it. We're really all about the quality of the liquid and making sure that the end consumer is happy with what they've got. And that's why we've grown, because we care, and we really do. It's not just sort of like marketing waffle that says, "Oh, we care about you." It's not like that at all. It's absolutely intrinsic in where we are.
And as I mentioned at the beginning of this piece, Deccan Vapors have always supported. I think you've turned up 3 vape meets that I've organised in South Wales.
Well, we do. We try and go around the country, and it isn't just to promote our flavours. It's actually just because we like vapors. We like hanging out. We like trying other people's flavours. It's fun. It's a great environment, and it's an enjoyable one. And
it is. And to be honest, when these guys actually do turn up to a vape meet, they're all right. They really are.
Shh, give me a bad name.
Well, thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure.
Excellent.
So there we go. That was the first part of my visit to DV. There will be at least another one part. There might be another 2 parts, but we see how that comes out in the edit. Reading chat there, I do notice the chestnut of e-liquid pricing comes up again. The bottom line is, e-liquid manufacturers make e-liquid. They sell it at a price. If people are willing to pay that price for it, then happy days. You know, if you're not happy to pay that price, then make your own or do whatever. But there we go. How does that compare with what you saw, Marco, when you went to £1 e-liquid, you know, when you had a chat?
Well, it was mentioned in chat there as well that, you know, £1 e-liquid do it by economies of scale, and that's pretty much true. What they do is they buy in such huge quantities. You know, the more you buy, the cheaper it then becomes. It's like why Asda and Tesco's and Sainsbury's and all the other supermarkets, Morrison's, Lidl, they buy in huge quantities, which means they can sell cheaper. And even at the kind of the smart price stuff they sell, they're making profit. You know, some of the stuff is going to be a loss leader to get you in the door, and then hopefully you're going to buy some more expensive stuff. But all manufacturers will buy in bulk and then make as much profit as possible. And someone mentioned that it's profiteering. I don't understand how it could be profiteering. There's a certain set of circumstances which would make it profiteering, like during the war, that kind of stuff. Yeah. But yeah, at the end of the day, you paid your money. You know, if you want to buy 180 mils of Muffin Man for 45 quid, if you work out what it is per mil against another juice that might cost you £15 for 30 mil, or another juice that might cost you 22. Yes, there are the 3 milligram, 6 milligram, 12 milligram, and you may say that if you wanted to buy 30 mils of 3 and it costs the same as 30 mils of 6, and you get through quite a lot of it if you're a dripper, well, you know, that's your bag. If you're going to drip, you're going to use more juice. If you're going to DTL, I think Leanna said she needs 12. Well, that's 12 in here, and I'm DTLing 12, but I'm quite happy to DTL 6 or 3. It really depends on the juice that I've got and what flavour it is and how much I like it. If I really like it and you can only buy it in 6, then I'll either whack a little bit of 75 into it to increase it, or I'll vape happy. At the end of the day, as a consumer, you've got a choice. You either buy a product or you don't.
You know, you mentioned mouth to lung and direct to lung there.
Yeah.
The eagle-eyed amongst you may have noticed when I was sampling some flavours there, I had completely forgotten how to mouth to lung. I was sitting there, I was just sucking on this bloody yatty, and nothing was coming out. I completely forgotten how to build the vapour up.
Well, there you go.
I'm so used to just doing this sort of thing. You know, that sort of stuff. One other thing, actually, Mark, we were chatting. We completely forgot to mention the march down in London, didn't we?
Yes, even though I provided you with pictures.
You did, you did. So let's have a quick look at these pictures, shall we? We have a picture here of a very tall wizard holding a sign up. I can't quite make out what the sign says. It says no to something or whatever, and EU leave our vapes alone, and sort of thing. I can't help but wondering what's up that wizard's sleeve.
A wizard's sleeve?
Yes, what is up the wizard's sleeve?
Well, you never quite know what's up a wizard's sleeve or what's going to fall out of it, and that's always an issue.
And we have another picture now of with the same wizard, a bit more of an assembled throng there. There's a nice VIP logo there. It seemed a fairly reasonable turnout, but I'm sure more would have been better, as they always are at these events.
I'm just proud people went down. I wished I could have got there, but unfortunately the diary and calendar and everything conflicted with me being able to make it. But yeah, I mean, when you look at that, it's not bad numbers. It's in the right place, all the right pictures. I'd just like the BBC, ITV, Channel 4, Channel 5, other broadcasters are available to pick this whole bloody thing up and actually do something with it. It's about time they did.
It does seem to be some sort of aversion to this sort of thing. When we was doing the Swansea one last year, was it? It was last year. These two news guys come along. One guy carrying a camera. It was newspaper news. It wasn't television news. And he saw us all standing, and he come up to me and goes, "Oh, what's going on here? Anything newsworthy?" I said, "Well, we are, we're trying to stop people taking away our right to vape and this sort of thing." And the guy with the camera was a recent convert to vaping. And he just wandered off, just muttering. I'm thinking, well, if that's not bloody news, what the hell is it? But there we go.
But it's good news. It's not somebody being beheaded.
Yeah, true enough.
It's not a ban on something, so it's not, drop the dead donkey and all that. Well, yeah, we'll film 30 seconds of it. It might make 10 seconds in the cut when it gets onto the news, but actually, nah, we'll not bother. We can take the piss out of Osborne instead, or whatever,
Yeah.
Yes, which it's pretty fair, I have to say. I think the whole thing with like Ian Dickham-Smith and Osborne the past few days has taken a lot of news up, as much as everything else. But we don't get the coverage. The best coverage we've had so far has been when Chris Choi went up to Dave's house. That's the best coverage we've had so far. But we need more of that. End of the day.
It's not easy to get, but there's that thing coming out with Michael Mosley. That's due.
Yeah, Horizon on BBC Two. Yeah.
Yeah, that apparently is going to be okay. So that'll not be good. It'll not be bad. I mean, it'll not be good. It'll not be bad. It should at least gets everything out there. It's just getting the conversation out there and getting the conversation out there in the right way. And at the moment, what's really getting to me and boiling my urine, he said, trying not to say piss, is this whole everybody banging on about quitting and quit aid. For God's sake, let's get the fun factor back into this and celebrate the vape.
Exactly.
Good grief. Yeah. Got nothing to do with quitting. The fact that people no longer smoke when they pick an e-cig up is a useful byproduct. It's not the be-all and end-all, and folks need to recognise this. And that might explain why Jane Ellison was going to in the House of Commons, because she doesn't want to admit, well, everybody's using e-cigs, and actually we quite like that.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Just looking in chat there, and Bob Pearson's asking when 1 Billion Lives is coming out. I'm sure they will be tweeting quite madly, and I know that it's so that should be interesting. But
it will be featuring at the Global Forum on Nicotine and shown in its fullness
in Warsaw.
In Warsaw, that's in June.
Very good.
Might be the premiere. Don't know.
That would be good.
I think that answered the question.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah.
So yes, somebody does know when Billion Lives is coming out. Marco, I believe you was having a chat with some gentleman yesterday.
Yes, so we better move on. Yes, because we're against the clock tonight because we've got a lot of stuff to fit in.
I'm miles away from it.
Shut up, Mr. Don.
Yes, I won't.
there are quite a few events this year. One's coming up at the beginning of next month down in Londinium. It's Vape Jam 2. And then after that, there's a Vapor Expo at the NEC. And then the one after that is going to be the Vape Collective in good old Doncaster.
Doncaster?
Doncaster.
In Yorkshire?
It's in Yorkshire City, and it's 20 miles down the Tuck Road from my house. So I had a little chat yesterday with Damon Fairhurst, a.k.a. the Grumpy Vaper. Matt, play the VT.
There are a few events this year, as you know. There's Vape Jam, which is in April the 1st, 2nd and 3rd. Following that, there's the Vapor Expo, which is the 6th, 7th and 8th of May. And the third event of the year is going to be in Doncaster over the last May bank holiday, which is the 28th and 29th of May. And it's this one, it's the Vape Collective Vape Meet Up North. Yes, which is rather nice for me because it's literally 20 minutes down the road, which is very handy. But I'm joined now by the organiser of this event, and it's Damon Fairhurst. Good afternoon, Damon.
Good afternoon, Marco. Thanks for having me on the show. How are you this happy Sunday?
Well, I'm all good. Yeah, not too bad. I've been doing some little bits and pieces, as you do at the weekend for the Monday show.
Indeed.
Not much around the house, but there you go. So we've been trying to hook up for a couple of weeks now.
We've
finally managed it. Let me go to a two-shop. There we go.
Okay.
Finally managed it, and we're going to be talking about the Vape Collective meet, which is, as I've just mentioned, the 28th and 29th of May. Looking forward to that one, yeah, because it's nice and local, not too far.
It's local for you. It's local for a few. I mean, that was one of the reasons that we actually chose Doncaster for Vape Collective. Is that, it's really slap bang right in the middle of the UK and easy access for most of the easy access for most of the UK. So that's why we actually chose Parklands in Doncaster.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit more about the venue, what is going to be happening over the weekend, and we'll add more questions as we go on.
Okay. So Vape Collective is the Saturday and Sunday, the 28th and 29th of May, Bank Holiday Monday weekend at Parklands in Doncaster. Now, Parklands is a sports and social club. The building itself is in need of a lick of paint or two, but hopefully with a few events giving them money like we are, then hopefully they'll be able to afford some work. But it's a decent venue. There's 10 acres of green land there that we've got to play with. We've got over 36 vendors signed up now for the weekend. We'll be opening up 10 o'clock a.m. on Saturday until 6 p.m. Saturday, and the same hours Sunday. And there's even a fishing pond there. If there's any keen fishermen out there, you can maybe even do a bit of fishing if it's a nice weekend. But the main focus will of course be vaping, and in particular the UK vaping industry. We really want to put the spotlight on our business and what we've got to be proud of in the UK. So we're taking, very small vendors up to very, very well-known vendors, names like T-Juice, Digby's. We're covering quite, the whole gamut of UK industry, hopefully.
Always nice to see Nigel Quine from T-Juice.
Yeah.
I'm sure I shall be. Probably the first time I've seen this show, actually, because I don't think he's going to be at the other venues. Although he will be at VapeFest, I would say.
I'm sure he will.
Yeah. So you've got a lot of small and kind of mid-sized companies as opposed to the big ones, is that right?
So far we've got Vape GB, Vapor Z, Evolution Vaping, B-Juice, Manabush, El Diablo, T-Juice, Digby's, Van Dyke Vapes, Biggs Tips, who do great drip tips, Vape Hype. Eden Mods will be there with their roses and their cloud chasing setup as well. Colonel Boom, Bumblebee, Dunfords, Valhalla, Emporium. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Spiritus Vapes just signed up a couple of days ago. We've got Lancashire Steam Company, the Cloud Chasing Club. So they're all names that we know very, very well, but there's a few smaller names that maybe couldn't get access to some of the bigger UK events.
So you've got quite a lot of juice companies there. What have you got in the way of hardware?
Hardware companies there will be Vapor Z, Evolution Vaping, some of the names that I've mentioned already. Colonel Booms, I'm not sure whether Plume Blue are bringing any hardware. But we are hoping to sign up a few more well-known hardware companies quite soon. So, I mean, it's still a fluid list and very much still in the building, and I would imagine that that'll be the case all the way up to mid-May.
So you're going to be starting off at 10 a.m. on the Saturday. What can people expect? What kind of other activities have you got on during the day?
Okay, so we're still. This is our inaugural year, and what's been one of the hardest things for us is because we're non-profit and we're charging such a low, inexpensive amount for pitches. We're still judging how much budget we're going to have left for things like entertainment. You've got to understand that for an event like this, we need 24-hour security, and that has taken out or will take out quite a sizable chunk of our expenses. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, we're very much looking towards the vendors actually to maybe hopefully provide some kind of entertainment things as well. I know that the Safer Vapors, Damien Mortar's Facebook group from A Bloody Good Vaping, I think he's doing a bit of a gig in one of the marquees at some point over the weekend. So yeah, I mean, we are looking at entertainment now. That is all to be announced in the next few weeks. What else is there? The Sports and Social Club itself has its own restaurant. It also has 4 bars which sell very, very attractively priced alcohol. What else is happening? We'll be running cloud chasing competitions in individual marquees over the weekend. We're running a rather large charity raffle, in which we're asking vendors to give generously now. All proceeds from that charity raffle will go to Soft UK, which is a charity which helps parents who have lost their children from trisomy 18 or Edwards and Patau syndrome. So that's a very, very worthy charity. That all the money from the raffle will go to that. So we'll be running a big charity raffle. I'm sure there'll be huge amounts of prizes in there by the time we go live on the 28th and 29th. Mm-hmm. And lots of other things to be announced in the next few weeks, so keep your eyes peeled. It
is free to get in, is that correct?
It's absolutely free to get in. All you have to do is go along to the Vape Collective website, which is vapecollective.co.uk. You'll then see some buttons across the top. If you go to vendor info and find out who is appearing there, and then you can go to the admission tickets button, press that, and you can get your free ticket there. If you want to camp, we've got 500 really nice, spacious camping pitches, and it's absolutely free to camp as well. But what we will ask you to do is just bring along your ticket. So we know you've got a ticket beforehand, and also we want to gauge rough numbers of how many people will be attending the weekend as well. So that's our indicator.
Okay, so you need to register before you arrive. What if you don't have a ticket when you arrive on the day?
Yeah, we will still be letting people in on the day with no ticket. Yeah, it won't be a problem. But really, we're asking people to get tickets so we can get rough numbers for safety reasons.
Yeah, that does make sense. I know that some of the venues have done that in the past as well. The ones that are free. I know Harrogate did that last year, which people did.
Yeah.
So it is mostly outdoors. There are some marquees, but it is mostly outdoors. So people will need to gauge the weather as well before they arrive, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it's going to be glorious weather. End of May hasn't been so bad traditionally over the past few years. So yeah, I mean, let's have fingers crossed for glorious weather. But 99% of vendors that are coming have booked 6x6 meter pitches. So they'll have full marquee setups. So there will be definitely no problem if it rains. Beyond that, yeah, I mean, it's typical of all outside events. If it does rain, bring your wellies. For the love of God, bring your wellies, just in case. But you know, we're British, we're resilient, we're immune to rain at festivals, so you know we can make it part of the fun. But hopefully it'll be rain-free weekend, hopefully. And yeah, we do have a large building, the Sport and Social Club, attached to it. It'll definitely be a place that you can get some respite if there is a drop or two of rain.
So we've got the venue sorted. We know that some of them have got marquees. We know that the British weather, it can be inclement. So bring your wellies. Have you seen the size of my wellies? I shall bring them with me because they're huge.
Do.
How is the availability of parking, and also what's the availability of public transport?
Yes, there's parking at the event. For those who are camping, they can park their cars next to their tent, so no problem with car parking. We've got such, like, 10 acres of space is just huge amounts for us to play with, so there'll be no problem with regards to space. With regards to public transport, yeah, we're just a couple of minutes outside Doncaster, so we're very, very easily accessed by a quick taxi ride or a bus from Doncaster town centre. So yeah, no problems with that either. Also on the website there are a list of linked hotels that are giving discounts as well, so if you do want to book a hotel, then check out those links on the website too.
Well, I'll be staying at Chez Marco and just jumping in the car and coming down. What about children and dogs, Damon?
Children and dogs, all are welcome. It is a family event, so yeah, it's an outdoors event. So yeah, just like Vape Fest, we are child friendly and we are dog friendly. Yeah, not a problem there at all.
And I guess the final consideration we need to think about is disabled access, wheelchair access. What's that like?
Yeah, well, it's funny you should ask that, actually, because a prospective vendor got in touch with me yesterday about that. No problem at all with wheelchair access to the building. There are disabled toilets in the building too, so no problem for access there. With regards to disabled access around the field itself, again, if it's inclement, it may not be the best day for it. We can't put hard surfaces down at all, apart from where the marquees stand. So, you know, the gentleman who approached me for a pitch yesterday, if it's raining, then he'll use his 4x4, as it were. And he says he'll be okay, but it depends on the level of disability and the level of need, really. So yeah, I mean, hopefully it'll be absolutely fine. But again, if it's inclement, there may be some difficulties. But there is full access to the building and disabled toilets in the building too.
Okay, well, hopefully the weather, fingers crossed, the weather will be kind to us and make it so people can get round if they need to. What else can we cover? We've covered the venue, we've covered the exhibitors, we've covered tickets, we've covered transport, parking, dogs, children and camping. Pretty much covered everything. What else do you want to tell us, Damon?
What else do I want to tell you? I want to ask the vaping community to really get behind this if possible. As I've mentioned, we are non-profit. We're charging such a small amount for the pitches to these UK businesses that we may as well just be doing it all free of charge anyway, with the amount of time that we've put in behind this. So what I would ask the vaping community is if you can really, really get behind this event, share it to as many people as you can, and help me do some of the marketing. Because, you know, we've all got a limited time schedule, and, you know, I am kind of running the whole marketing side of it through Facebook groups, forums, Planet of Vapes, UK Vapors. They've both been very helpful. You guys have been very helpful, and reviewers are starting to spread the word out a little bit now. But if we can get the community behind this to share this event to their friends, family, to other vapors, then we can make this first event a really, really big, busy success. And any money that we have after the event, if there's anything left in the pot, will be put forward to a bigger, more successful event next year. So I think it's just so important for the community to get behind this, because, you know, this is event It's an event run by the community, for the community. It's absolutely and entirely free. We'll hopefully have not just vaping stuff, but entertainment over the weekend as well. Somewhere free to stay with camping. So if the community can shove this out there for us, that would be absolutely grand. That's my only ask, really, Marco.
And that's a perfectly reasonable ask to ask, don't you? At the end of the day, you know, all events are good, really. It brings more community together, and it also brings kind of vaping and keeps vaping out there in the public eye.
There's something else that's also important to remember about Vape Collective as well, and that's that we fall the weekend after TPD implementation. So you know it's gonna be like a rather large big party the weekend after TPD, which I think is quite an interesting proposition actually. You know, I've had people get in contact with me saying, but what if the vape police are around and what if they shut you all down? Well, it's very important to remember that Vape Collective, we're not doing any advertising whatsoever. At the event, we're not having any advertising at the event. There'll be no vaping magazines at the event, and they'll only be advertising at point of sale at the event, as TPD stipulates. So hopefully we'll be the first TPD compliant event in the UK too.
Now that would be interesting if the vape police turned up, and since myself and I think Dave Dawn will be there with cameras, we'd be out there periscoping it live and putting it out there live if the vape police turned up. I'm hoping they don't. I'm hoping they leave the community alone, to be fair. But it all depends on just how stringent they are going to be.
Well, we'll be a bit litmus testy, won't we, Vape Collective? You know, if nothing happens, then I'm sure it'll give everybody else confidence moving forwards, which won't be a bad thing.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm not going down to Vape Jam this year, just because I've got other things that I have to do. But I will be at Vapor Expo, and
Same to me.
I will definitely be down at Vape Collective, and I'm definitely going to be at Vape Fest. Vape Fest Ireland, I'm not too sure. I'll have to see as I go on. But for the minute, Damon, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me on, Marco. It really, really means a lot for you guys to give us a bit of publicity for Vape Collective. Many, many, many thanks again. And yeah, look forward to meeting you there. Look forward to meeting all the community and you guys at Vapor Trails too. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Damon. And now we're back to the studio.
Hey, I've been reading what's going on in chat here, and I've got no idea what they're on about. There's folks in there that are supposed to be typing in. Geordie, they haven't got a fun clue. They're not, the lot of them. And I'll tell you something for now. And if Lal was capable of translating out to Geordie into something what Southerners would understand, why the hell she having on? If there's been to the Mun, she's been there twice and come back farting. That's no good at all. Marco, it's out to you, son.
Ah, dearie me. Yes, that was Dave talking in his native tongue.
No, that was Geordie. My native tongue is Macam.
Oh, yeah, he's a Macam. I forget he's a Macam. Yeah. Anyway, yes, so myself and Damon had a good chat yesterday. It was a bit longer than what you saw, but I cut it down. I edited a little bit. And it should be a decent sized show, to be fair. And I think it was Paul who put into chat. Yeah, Paul Wilkins, I believe. Yes, don't forget that there is Vape Fest as well in August, 6th, 7th of August, which I will be attending. And we were talking when that was going through. Now Dave's going to be away.
I'm always away when they put it on.
He's always away
when I'm not away.
He's always away in the sun, lapping it up with his gin by the pool, having it large.
Yes.
So Dave will be down at Vape Jam with his NNA hat on, and the EAM, as is, will be in attendance like last year at Vapor Expo, and we are going to be doing live stream shows on all 3 days.
Touch wood.
Touch wood, yeah. We've been doing a lot of work. Dave has been doing a lot of technical work, getting bits and pieces together, and we are planning to do probably 2 shows a day live from the show, and we are looking forward to that immensely. Are we not, gentlemen?
It's going to be absolutely marvelous. We've got it worked out now so that we can do a 2 or 3 camera shot, totally portable, you know. Sir, expect that we will be interviewing people that've got brand new equipment for sale. We're going to get them to bring it to the stand and show us it. So everything new, hopefully, that's at Vapor Expo will be at the VTTV stand and will be shown live on a live stream. That's just to prove I can't talk like a tit.
And I've still got, if I go into this little box here, I've still got a load of pens. Vape Charles TV pens.
Roll up, get your guarantee, not the work pen.
Yeah, no, actually they all work. I've not had a duff one yet. I've got to say, I use them all the time.
Are we doing the sweeties again this year?
No, I'm not doing sweeties.
No. What
No,
about
no,
hand rolls?
I'm not.
Sugar tax on them. We've got to be very careful. We don't want to upset Sally Davies because she might be that, because she might be thinking of switching to vaping. Sally Davies, Dame Sally Davies, Chief, what do you call her? Chief Medical Officer. She might be that. You never know. You look on a following wind. You just don't.
Yes.
Could be.
So probably won't have any sweets on the stand. You never know, though. I might relent, go down to Asda and pick some up. But yes.
Sandwiches.
No, I should bring the sandwiches last year.
Ham sandwiches, pork sandwiches, chicken sandwiches, turkey sandwiches, beef sandwiches, pork pies. Loads and loads of pork pies.
I did a decent spread last year, didn't I? Yes.
It
Anyway.
was fabulous. You'll make somebody a lovely wife, Marco.
Yes.
Do you know what? I didn't get any of that. You know that Keith fella? He come along and snaffled it all.
He did snaff. Yeah, we snaffling. Yeah. I'll put a padlock on the fridge.
And he's still as funny as a rake.
Don't you hate that?
Yeah.
These buggers that's got no size to them, they eat like horses. They're probably hung like hamsters, so it doesn't matter.
And Paul Wilkinson says, Paul Wilkins says, garlic bread, garlic and bread. No, what have any garlic bread? Because it'll go hard in the fridge.
Pardon?
Shut up. But they will.
No. You need to tell me about this. Tell me more about it going hard in the fridge, because sure as
yeah. If you cook garlic bread and then you don't eat it all, you put it in the fridge, it goes hard. You have to heat it up again.
Oh, that explains what Jill was telling us last night.
Yes. So we're going to be doing the live shows, so it should be quite good. And then Vape Fest will be the last one before Irish Vape Fest in November-ish. Yeah. So
do we know it's on for definite?
I think it's on. Yeah.
Because
I need to have a look on their Facebook site.
The question was being asked earlier on by she who must be obeyed, she who makes my life complete, she whose every ray of sunshine warms up and lightens up my day. She was saying, "Is Irish Vape Fest on? Because we need to go to Ireland in November." That was what she was saying.
Was it?
Fabulous.
Now, Leanna Lawless is talking in chat, and she says, pork pies give you cancer, don't you know? And I'd just like to say one word to that, and that is bollocks.
Cancer of the bollocks?
No. It's this whole thing about additives, and there is, if you get a cured pork pie that has got something called nitrites in it, which keep the meat pink, and cure the meat. If you get an uncured one, you get the kind of grayer meat in the pork pie, and there's no nitrates in it because nitrates get converted to nitrites. So, moving on.
Why do you want a nightlight in a pie?
I'm still going to be eating pork pies.
Because you need the radiation the light gives you.
Is that just so you can see whether you're biting into crust or your finger?
No. You definitely don't bite in your finger. You just dip it in some brown sauce and then you're away. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I cannot wait for Vapor Expo with all these pork pies Marco's bringing. It's going to be fabulous.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, Dave, I probably won't be bringing pork pies because I don't eat pork pies these days, as you know.
You don't have to, Marco.
No. I'll sort you out. Don't worry. I'll bring my eating trousers.
Seriously, Marco, you have no need to eat them at all. We've got you covered.
If you want some larger trousers, Matt, I've got some that don't fit me anymore. You can have.
He's bragging again.
Dear. Oh, we go. There's a Paul. Yeah, Paul Wilkins has put Vape Fest Ireland announcement. The current Vape Fest Ireland committee has reduced to 2 members: Leslie Smith and Kevin McIntosh, who remains. The current Vape Fest committee, Ronan, has left to explore the projects. Wait to see the new legislation will affect events. So
it shouldn't. It shouldn't.
No, it shouldn't.
It's not cross-border. Even though we'll have to cross borders to get there, it's not cross-border. Do it. I'll shut up. Go on, Mark, or tell them. Say, do it. Go on, say it.
Yeah. Should do it. Should definitely do it. Definitely do it. And I think I'm not sure the bit I did with Damon yesterday, but we were talking about the vape police and if they were going to turn up. And I said, well, me and Dave will be there with cameras. So if they do turn up, it'll make a damn good story.
Vape police?
Yes.
You know what they would say?
Go on.
What have you got there?
Where's there? We got an e-cig.
How does that work? Well,
you put it in your mouth and suck it.
Coil up that. Can I have a go? Where can I get one? Come this way.
Anyway, moving on. We do have a little bit of kit. Look, he's got a thing in one hand and an e-cigar in the other hand. We do have a little bit of kit coming up now with Mark Crew, and we better play this video out because we're going to run out of time otherwise, I think.
Hi and welcome to SoulOhm. Today we're going to be looking at this. It's the Hell's Gate V2 by Yep. It is a unregulated parallel mod and it has 2 RDAs. Gonna give it a toke. Then we'll go down below, have a look and see what we think. Okay, so this is the box the Hell's Gate V2 comes in. It's almost like a material type feel to it. Got Yep at the top, Yep e-cig there, nothing on the side. Got their email address, all that good stuff there, nothing. Then underneath you have got your scratch and sniff and barcode. And to open the box, you've got this lovely little ribbon. On the inside, you've got 2 trays. The first tray is your mod. And this is your mod. Let's get that out. Here's your mod. Got Hell's Gate V2 there with a lovely logo-y type thing going off there. All very demon-y. At the top you've got your 2 510 connections. You've got your nice clicky button. Underneath these is where you put your batteries. This is a parallel mod and it is measuring from here to here is 105mm. From here to here it is 52mm, and from here to here it is 24mm. Made of aluminium, but it's got almost like a wood feel. It's got some sort of veneer on it. It just feels really nice in the hand, it really does. And you can almost see this graining. It really is nice. And to put your batteries in, you unscrew these at the bottom. It's only done by hand. It does take a while. And obviously it is in parallel. And at the bottom of here you have got a battery adjuster, so you just unscrew this to get rid of battery rattle. And just screw that in there. There you go. I'll speed this along. And there you go, that's how you fit your batteries. Inside you've got your 2 510s, they are adjustable. Okay, in your other tray you get bits and pieces, just put that to the side. You get your 2 RDAs, you get a wide bore chuff cap, you get a stainless steel drip tip, you get this part, which I'm going to call is a bridge, and you get your 510 adapter. So we'll just go through these bits. That's the bridge between your two RDAs. Okay, let's have a look at the RDAs themselves. These are the YEP V2 RDAs, and as you can see, got a copper 510 in there, pin there. Okay, on your AFC, this is your AFC, you can have it in either single mode or dual. Got heat pins at the top there, just put that down to the side, and here's your barrel. Let's get this out, come on you little deal, and there's your barrel. Got some heat sinking at the bottom here. It's got quite a deep juice well, to be honest with you. And obviously this is your barrel. This is your airflow at the top here, and then obviously that's part of your heat sink. And your AFC is just the standard way AFCs work. Hopefully you can see this. It's just a case of turning it and it just blocks your holes off to your desired airflow. Got your hand there, logo-y type thing going off there. And obviously they go together. And with the wideboard chuff cap, it looks a little bit like this. Just put that on there. And that's what it looks like. Screw it onto the mod for you so you get a rough idea what it looks like on the mod. And this is what it would look like in just having one RDA. Okay, so if you're wanting two RDAs, how it works is you connect both RDAs. And how this works is you take both of your AFC rings off completely, and you put this, I'm going to call it a bridge because it's the only way I can explain it, and this bridges the gap between the two RDAs. And they just press fit inside there, so you have got no airflow control at all. Then obviously from there you will put your large chuff cap on there. So there you go, that's how it would look like in dual RDA mode. Okay, so that was the Hellsgate V2. I'm going to wick both of these up now. Sorry, well, I'm going to coil them up, wick them, juice them, and give it a vape, and I'm going to tell you what I think about it. Okie dokie. We have coils. It has been wicked. It has been juiced. Vapors. Okay, so that was the up and closey of the Hellsgate V2. So before I go any further, I just want to give you a few specs. The actual box mod itself has upgraded printed circuit board protection. It has overpuff protection, low voltage protection, reverse connection protection, short circuit protection. It also goes down to a 0.1 ohm, so plenty of low builds on there, easy. Like I said, it is a dual RDA. Both RDAs are 22 mil. Okay, so what do I think to it? I think it's interesting, put it that way. It's not something I would definitely buy because it is blooming big, to be honest with you. But does it produce well? Yeah, it does. if you want clouds, this is a definitely cloud machine. I'm going to just show you what it looks like in just single mode. So we'll just take one of these RDAs off. I'll just find a rag. I'm just going to take one of the RDAs off and show you what it looks like without two. Get this off. This is with the AFC. I'm going to have the AFC just open wide. And obviously the normal chuff cap. And just show you, it really produces quite well on its own. Okay, so that's in single mode. And it still really produces quite well. I actually prefer it in this mode, to be honest with you. Overall, the flavour is quite nice. Considering this is designed for blowing monster clouds, because the air there, the actual air holes, are quite tight together, and it's more of a mesh than it is a air, like when you're used to air holes. But because of that, it actually makes the draw a bit more swooshy, should we say. But still produces really well. Really do like this clicky button. Really, really nice. I do like it. I'm not too keen on the RDAs. The O-rings, very, very sloppy. Very sloppy O-rings. So I'm not impressed with them, I must admit. But besides that, yeah, it's a nice, easy deck to build on, and you've got a deep juice well. Yeah, it is. I think it's more of a novelty idea than anything else. In single mode, I think it's really nice in your hand. It's very comfy, I must admit. It really is quite comfy in the hand. But I mean, I haven't got massive hands, so it is quite big. The battery doors or screws, don't really like them, must admit. It takes ages for them to screw them on, it takes ages to screw them off, and it's not too bad if you've got a single battery, but because you've got two batteries, it can be a bit of a bind. The RDAs themselves, yeah, I've had no real major issues. I've tried thinner gauge wire. I've got 22 gauge, so it's quite thick wire. I've tried 27, and it does want to bite them coils, really does. I've put a couple of bills in, screwed it in, and you have to be slightly careful when you're screwing down because it will snap your wires. But obviously I put 22 gauge on and it's no problem at all. So overall, what do I think to the Hell's Gate? Well, to be honest with you, I think it's not a bad little mod. It's not something I would go out personally and buy, but if you want something a bit novel, a bit different from everybody else, it is, you can't say any more than that really. The feel of it is really nice. It does feel really nice in your hand, and it's got a bit of weight to it as well. And besides that, yeah, I don't think it's a bad little mod. Okay, so that was the Hell's Gate V2 by Yep. Thanks ever so much for watching, and as always, happy vaping.
There we go, that was our Mark having a look at a double RDA thingamajig. Seems to be a staple for a Monday where people need explaining to them about what the TPD is. Here's a man to explain to you about what the TPD is.
Again?
Apparently, yeah. Apparently it needs to be done again.
Okay, right, okay. Let's just pick up some of the things that have come up in chat during the course of that. Right. An RDA is a kit of parts like Meccano. If it's not assembled when it arrives, it isn't a tank. Ergo, it's a kit of parts like Meccano. You buy a Meccano set that will make Or even a what do you call that other thing? Lego. You can buy a Lego set that makes a police cruiser, but when you get it, it's not a police cruiser. It's a set of bricks. Doesn't actually need notifying. Somebody said, I'm mentioning no names here, Lal, that you could go to jail for not notifying when you're selling. It's not the case. It's not a vendor who needs to notify. It's the producer, the importer, the manufacturer. That's who's got to do that. It doesn't actually affect vapors per se. So if somebody wants to sell it, you can buy it. If you want to get them into trouble, you might want to make a complaint. But if you do that, you're not a friend of mine. Am I clear? Good. I'm pleased to hear it. Now, what else? What else was coming up? Don't
read chat. Really don't. No, don't just read that last entry in chat.
No, I won't. The thing is, right, it's a leak-free refilling mechanism. And it looks as though the way, I wished I had the close-up cameras here, but the bottom line on it is a snake-nosed bottle that fits in a hole is leak-free refilling mechanism. That's all it needs. It's nothing onerous. All of this has yet to be confirmed. When it is, you'll hear about it here first, because we'll probably find out about it first. But the bottom line on it is, in the UK, at any rate, we are getting let off lightly compared to other countries, where apparently they ain't going to have anything. But yes, keep tuned in. We'll sort it all out. Wizard sleeves and all.
There you go. So we won't be doing that again next Monday because we're not on air next Monday, by the way. Just like to point that out.
Yes, it is Easter. Therefore, Bank Holiday Monday is a day off. Yes, we don't historically go out over the Easter period on Easter Monday. Or in fact, any bank holidays generally. But yes, we won't be here next week, but we'll be here in 2 weeks. Yes, Dave will be here on Thursday, however. And I don't really want to ask him what he's got going on Thursday because I'm not quite sure he knows.
Well, it's an age thing. It's an age thing. You know that perm I forgot to read out last week? We're going to be doing that, but I'm going to be setting it to Vido because somebody said in the chat afterwards when I read it to everybody in the team, they said, you're going to need subtitles for that. No, that's not the way it went. There's going to need subtitles for that, was what Marco said. Something along those lines. Even Ridian Man, he says, Dave, I didn't understand a word what you just said, isn't it? Haven't I? Wasn't it? Couldn't it? Who wrote it? Whose poem is that ode then? And he thought I would need subtitles. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. However, here's the sad bit. Small violins out. There's no Keith. There's no Keith. I will be all by myself. Don't wanna be. I'll be all by myself. But Sav will be here as well, I think, on Skype and stuff. And Matt will be there because he always is. And we shall have a look at some stuff, some kit. I might even show you things I'm not supposed to talk about, he said, taking a drag.
I think you should get Gillian on Thursday. Phil
What?
Phil Keith's chair. Get Gillian on Thursday.
You're trying to kill me.
There's a lot of cries. There's a lot of cries of what and etc. in relation to next Monday. We do need the occasional kind of night off, guys, because we do have families as well.
Basically,
so it's quite.
From what I've heard, Marco is going to be searching for his wife's eggs.
There'll be no Easter eggs in this house. I'm sorry.
Really?
No chocolate in the house.
They don't have to be chocolate. They can be eggs.
It's not happening. Shut up, Dave. It's not happening. There might be a hot cross bun. Yeah, I might push the bow tie and get a hot cross bun.
You have to get on a boat to get a hot cross bun. Where the hell do you live?
Well, it's a long way to the nearest Tasda. No, it's not. Where are your family now? What kind of a question is that to us, WraithTech?
No, I think he's exclaiming that we, apparently, or they, are our family now. Implying that we're related.
No. You're not even a brother from another mother.
No.
I always thought Marco had a bike and was all over the country. What do you mean we get 5 nights off each week? You cheeky buggers!
Bloody relentless, aren't they? They really are.
Joe, you don't know. We spend 7 days a week doing one show.
Yeah.
One? Yeah. I do too.
Well, yeah. Dear me.
Yes, Savvy's right. If people need a refund because there is no show on Monday night, could you please send a £15 administration fee and a stamped addressed envelope to VTTV Towers, and we will refund you the 0 cost of your watching pleasure.
Yeah, can you make it in user notes as well? No checks or post orders. Thank you. And with that, I think we've actually gone past time, gentlemen.
Have we gone
time, gentlemen, please?
Are we past time? Are we not?
Give us your glasses. Give us your glasses. Come on.
See your drinks off. It's time to go home, put wood in soil and walk straight back to where that comes from. Get up to wooden stairs and go to bed fed. Is that right, Mark?
No. I think the only bit you got right was putting wood in soil. And if you don't know what that means, gentle viewer, it means shut bloody door.
Aye, put wood in soil, in coil oil.
Wood in soil. Aye. Not on a coal hole, no. So, yes, there you go. That was Vapor Trails TV Monday show. Yes. I have been Mark Van Basten. He has been Cybernoid Mike Garish. And he has been...
I've been David Dawn, yes. I've been a what?
You've been a high-fi
call me a bastard, dear boy.
No, it's me stuttering connection.
Is that what it was? No, accurate to the last. Yes, here it is, that bastard David Dawn.
Yes, well, yes. Over to you, Matt. You can close the show.
All right then. Bye. No, we'll see you on Thursday.
Yes. Ta-ta, bye.
Ta-da.